Zara pressed her pale blue fingers against the cold metal wall of the space station and watched Earth spin slowly below her. Her silver hair caught the artificial light as she waited for General Jake Morrison to return from his mission. They had been engaged for 6 months now, and their wedding was planned for next week. The Celestian woman had never imagined she would fall in love with a human when her people first made contact with Earth 3 years ago. Her species was known across the galaxy for their telepathic abilities and their natural beauty. Most aliens found humans primitive and violent, but Zara saw something different in Jake. He was kind and protective, and he made her laugh with his strange human jokes. Soft chime echoed through the corridor, and Zara turned to see a transport ship docking at the station. Her heart jumped with excitement, thinking Jake had returned early. She hurried toward the docking bay, but stopped when she saw it was not his ship. A tall figure stepped out of the transport. He had dark hair and green eyes, and there was something wild about the way he moved. Zara had never seen him before, but she felt drawn to him in a way that confused her. Her telepathic senses picked up something unusual about his mind. It was blocked somehow, like there were walls around his thoughts. The stranger looked directly at her and smiled. His teeth seemed sharper than normal humans, and his eyes had a golden glow that made her shiver. "You must be Zara," he said, walking closer. His voice was deep and rough. "I am Connor Blake. General Morrison sent me to escort you to the surface while he finishes his mission." Zara felt suspicious. Jake had not mentioned sending anyone, and she had not received any messages about a change in plans. But Connor showed her official military papers with Jake's signature, and she decided to trust him. They took a shuttle down to Earth and landed near a forest base that Zara had never seen before. Connor explained that Jake was waiting for her in a secure facility deeper in the woods. As they walked along the dark path, Zara noticed that Connor moved like a predator. His steps were silent, and his head turned constantly as if he was listening for something. "Why are we meeting Jake here?" Zara asked. Her voice sounded small in the quiet forest. Connor stopped walking and turned to face her. In the moonlight, his eyes definitely glowed with an inner fire. "Because there are things about your fiancé that you need to know before you marry him." Before Zara could ask what he meant, Connor stepped closer. She could smell something wild and earthy about him, like pine trees and running water. Her telepathic abilities were still blocked when she tried to read his mind, but she could sense raw emotion and power radiating from him. "Jake is not the man you think he is," Connor whispered. "He has been hiding something important from you, something about what happened during his last mission to the outer colonies." Zara backed away, but Connor followed her. "What are you talking about?" she demanded. Her silver eyes flashed with anger and fear. "Your precious general was infected," Connor said, "bitten by something that changed him forever. He is no longer fully human, and he is dangerous, especially to someone like you." "You are lying," Zara said, but doubt crept into her voice. Jake had been acting strange lately, more aggressive and possessive. He insisted they move their wedding date up, and he did not like her spending time alone. Connor reached out and touched her face gently. His skin was burning hot against her cool Celestian flesh. "I am trying to protect you," he said. "My kind has been hunting his kind for centuries. We know how to spot them, and we know how dangerous they can become." "Your kind," Zara repeated. Something clicked in her mind. The blocked thoughts and the glowing eyes and the predatory movements. "You are not human either." Connor smiled, and this time she could clearly see his fangs. "Very good. I am what your people would call a lycanthrope, a werewolf. And Jake Morrison is now a vampire." Zara felt the world spinning around her. Vampires and werewolves were supposed to be myths from human folklore. But as she looked at Connor, she knew he was telling the truth. Everything about him screamed predator and supernatural power. "Why should I believe you?" she asked, even though she already did. Instead of answering, Connor pulled her close and kissed her. The moment their lips touched, Zara felt an electric shock run through her entire body. Her telepathic abilities suddenly exploded back to life, and she could read Connor's mind clearly for the first time. She saw his memories of hunting vampires across the galaxy. She felt his loneliness as one of the last of his pack. And she experienced his instant recognition of her as his mate the moment he stepped off the transport. When the kiss ended, Zara was breathing hard and her legs felt weak. Connor steadied her with his strong hands. "The kiss of a true werewolf mate awakens hidden abilities," he explained. "You should be able to sense Jake's true nature now when you see him." As if summoned by their conversation, Jake Morrison emerged from the trees. But the man Zara saw was not the gentle general she had fallen in love with. His skin was pale as death and his eyes were red with hunger. When he smiled, his fangs glinted in the moonlight. "Hello, my dear," Jake said in a voice like silk and poison. "I see you have met my old friend Connor. Did he tell you our little secret?" Zara could now sense the cold emptiness where Jake's soul used to be. Her new abilities showed her the darkness that had consumed the man she thought she knew. He was a predator who saw her as nothing more than prey. "You were going to turn me," she whispered in horror. "At our wedding," Jake laughed. "Of course. What good is an immortal bride who will age and die? I needed you to be like me so we could rule together forever." Connor stepped in front of Zara protectively. "She is under my protection now, vampire. Find another victim." The two supernatural beings circled each other like the predators they were. Zara realized that this fight had been inevitable from the moment Connor arrived. He had not come to warn her. He had come to claim her. Jake attacked first, moving faster than human eyes could follow. But Connor was ready and his own speed matched the vampires. They crashed together in a whirlwind of claws and fangs and superhuman strength. Zara watched in fascination and terror as the man she had loved fought the creature who claimed to be her true mate. Her new abilities let her see the fight clearly, even though they moved like lightning. Connor was stronger, but Jake was more vicious. The vampire used dirty tactics and tried to use Zara as a distraction, but every time Jake got close to her, Connor was there to intercept him. Finally, Connor managed to pin Jake to the ground. His claws were at the vampire's throat and his eyes blazed with killing fury. "Choose Zara," Connor called without taking his attention off his enemy. "Your old life with this monster or a new life with me? But choose quickly, because I will not let him leave here alive if you stay with him." Zara looked at Jake's twisted face filled with rage and hunger. Then she looked at Connor, who had risked everything to save her from a fate worse than death. Her heart had already made the choice, even if her mind was still catching up. "I choose you," she said simply. Connor smiled and Jake screamed in fury. With one swift motion, the werewolf ended the vampire's existence forever. As Jake's body turned to dust, Connor transformed back to his human appearance and held out his hand to Zara. She took it and felt the rightness of their connection settle into her bones. "Where will we go?" she asked. "Anywhere in the galaxy," Connor replied. "My pack is scattered across the stars and they will welcome their new alpha female with open arms." Zara looked up at the night sky filled with infinite possibilities. Her old life was over, but her new adventure was just beginning. She had gained abilities she never knew she possessed and a mate who would love and protect her forever. Together they walked back toward the shuttle that would take them to the stars. Behind them the forest was quiet again and Jake Morrison was nothing more than dust on the wind.